The brand new Retro Squad ride has finally arrived to Alton Towers. In this news update, I'm going to be taking you for a look at the newest addition to the Retro Squad lineup of rides at Alton Towers Resort. And I tell you what, this Retro Squad ride's location is very, very interesting. So with all that said, let's get straight into the video and take a look at the brand new Retro Squad ride to Alton Towers Resort for 2023. So yeah, a few weeks ago, Alton Towers did announce that the Roller Disco Retro Squad ride would be removed from the resort and replaced with a brand new Retro Squad Funfair ride for 2023. And while they haven't officially announced the new Retro Squad ride, we have got some exclusive photos from inside the resort of this new Retro Squad ride already set up and ready to operate. So here's some photos on your screens from inside Alton Towers Resort, taking a look at the brand new Funfair ride for 2023. And interestingly, from these photos, we can see it's not actually fully replacing Roller Disco. Of course, Roller Disco was a Waltzer ride located over in Dark Forest next to Rita and 13. And yeah, this has been moved to X Sector, right next to the Smiler and Oblivion, but also next to a fellow Retro Squad ride, which is of course Spin Jam, which I'll talk about a little bit later on in this video. But if we quickly move over to Dark Forest, next to 13 and Rita, there's now no Funfair rides, which is an interesting sight to see. Of course, we haven't seen it like this since about 2020 now, when Retro Squad weren't a thing at Alton Towers. But yet that space is now empty. Potentially some picnic benches will be there for the main season. That'd be good because there's not really many places to sit over in Dark Forest. But moving over then to X Sector, where this new Retro Squad ride is located. An interesting position. Of course, Enterprise has now been fully removed. You can see in these photos it's just been bricks over there, and Starfighter has been put in this area. In my opinion, it's not the best place to put it, let's be honest. Of course, Alton Towers brought in the Retro Squad to increase capacity across the park, not just in one specific area, because once they put they have put Starfighter in this area, so there's two Retro Squad rides in X Sector and one over in Forbidden Valley, so not really spreading the crowds out at Alton Towers as such. But nonetheless, it's nice to see them changing up the Retro Squad. As of yet, they haven't put the Retro Squad branding on there, which is something I'll assume they do before opening day. Whether this ride opens on opening day, it's still yet unknown. Of course, when Spin Jam opened back in 2022, that didn't open until later on in the season. I think it was about May time that opened. So this could potentially be a little bit of a later opening in the season, potentially. But nonetheless, it's a new Retro Squad ride to Alton Towers. But here we are again, 3 years in, and we're getting Funfair rides at Alton Towers. And this year, probably even worse than the rest, because we've got two Funfair rides next to each other. Of course, next to Spin Jam, also known as Air Raid. That's going to be returning for a second year at the resort. And yeah, two Funfair rides right next to each other, next to two world-class coasters. Very interesting move. Hopefully we see some permanent flat rides at Alton Towers in the near future. It's in desperate need of some. Alton Towers and Merlin have really been investing these past few seasons. We've got Project Horizon on the way, Curse of the Autumn Manor, potentially Nemesis Subterra, the Nemesis retrack. I can't believe that permanent flat rides aren't at the top of their list. I really hope it is for next season. You know, one flat ride for the next 5 years. At the end of the 5 years, we'll have 5 different flat rides. Because right now we're stuck with Blade, and that's really not good enough. But for now, the Retro Squad will have to do. Of course, Starfighter, brand new to the Retro Squad lineup for 2023. The name hasn't been released yet, but my personal thoughts, I think it's going to be called TWISTATRON. You can see there's 6 different options here that Alton Towers can choose from. Because I think TWISTATRON goes best with this ride, because of course you're going to be spinning in loads of different motions. I think it's going to be a good experience. This ride's travelled all the way from Scotland to Alton Towers Resort. Of course, it's going to be opening I'm hoping opening day to get this ride fully open. However, we're not too sure yet. It hasn't been confirmed. And of course, as soon as it is confirmed, the name and everything, I'll of course release it here on the channel. Will be in a separate news update. But with all that said, there we go. A brand new Retro Squad ride to Alton Towers for 2023. Hopefully we're seeing the back end of the Retro Squad. Hopefully this is his last season at the park. However, you never know, it could be returning in 2025. However, I think it's very unlikely. If you did enjoy this video, do consider subscribing. We've got so many other updates on the way for you. And you know what? It's 4 days at the time of recording until Alton Towers Resort opens for 2023. Exciting times. We'll be there on opening day filming an opening vlog along with Blackpool Pleasure Beach, and in the next few weeks Fort Park along with Drayton Manor, plus so many more. We've got so many trips planned for 2023. We'll be there to capture all of the different UK theme parks. With all that said, I'll see you in the next video. Bye now.